Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to talk about a mod for Arkhan the Black. So it's a mod which has been out for a while, but it's completely skipped my radar, which is weird because it works out really well with Tomb Kings Extended. This is Arkhan the Black Expanded, which is a way to just make him a bit more unique. Give him a feeling of being a sub-faction, which I think is kind of important, especially with the Tomb Kings, which right now, they all play very much the same, well, almost identically at this point, and yeah, it's starting to notice a little bit. You know, this is Arkhan the Black. This is a character who is well, I don't know if we can call him trusted, but you know, he is a something with Nagash, right? His right-hand man, but even then, Nagash doesn't really trust a lot of people. So yeah, let's check out this mod, and yeah, let's discuss. You can already tell there's going to be some big changes when you look at the construction tab. You've got two different types of main building, so you can either choose to go with the traditional Tomb King sense, or you can start going with more of a vampire count feel, which will give you extra vampiric corruption. Generally the bonuses are very similar, but the corruption kind of works in your favor here. And yeah, loads of new buildings. The idea is that you're going to have two rosters in one. You can mix and match. We're already kind of used to this with, you know, the Warriors of Chaos rework, even though it's a bit different because this is more of a vanilla styling, as you can recruit, mix and match as you please, which does lead to some pretty interesting armies, and it's all got the same system as the Tomb King, so you have to build up certain buildings to be able to get more capacity, so you're not going to be doom stacking the vampire stuff whilst you're waiting to build up doom stacks of the Tomb King stuff. I really like this. It's something that I'm expecting is going to happen to Nagash in the future, obviously with some stylized mechanics, but a mixture of both rosters at the very least, and then add in some vampire ghost stuff. But for Arkhan, you know, just keep it with the vampire counts and the Tomb Kings and you're pretty much golden, and I think this kind of works out really, really well. Might say it's a bit unbalanced, but then again, this is campaign, and the fact is, you know, let people play. You know, it's thematic. If you can have, like, chosen from all different sub-factions for the Chaos, why can't you have some Grave Guard mixing up with some Tomb Guard, right? The tech tree has a massive addition, so yeah, you've still got all the old stuff, you know, to unlock armies and all the other bonuses for your normal Tomb Kings, but here you've also got a dedicated line, so you've got the Legions of Nagash, the Rise of Nagash, and the Legions of Sacrament. This is all for your faction, and it adds in loads of bonuses to all your vampire count units, so you're getting some nice and tasty buffs all around. I'm a big fan of this. I think it's freaking cool. Everything's just really nice looking. It's a very big tech tree. I think, yeah, more than likely this is like one of the larger tech trees now. It compares to that of the dwarfs, which might be overwhelming for some, but this allows you to just kind of focus. If you want to focus on building up undead vampire count units, this is the way to go. If you want to focus on the Tomb King ones, you can then go back to the other one, right? So all you have to do is just scroll, or, you know, mix and match. So go for the units that you're specifically looking for, buff them up, and have that really cool hybrid army, which I think works out pretty well. In my own playstyle, I've been kind of focusing more with a mix, but mostly focusing on some vampire count stuff, because, yeah, I just kind of like it. Takes you back to the whole, I think it was 4th edition, was it? Or 5th edition? Where there was not vampire counts and Tomb Kings, it was just undead. So it's kind of a nice little throwback to that. I know, it makes you feel old too, doesn't it? But I guess this kind of works more for nostalgic type of players, or those who just want a proper hybrid faction. You know, we kind of need more hybrid factions in Total War. I think it would be nice to have that in the future. But yeah, let's move on. You will also have a new Lord choice, which is known as the Tainted King. You can get them with staff, or you can get them with a sword and board. So it very much depends on how you want to use them, but really the items don't really mean too much, let's be honest. Well, they do, because you get a few different stats, but yeah, you're just going to get them mounted on the battle kitty anyway, aren't you? When it comes to any unique skill lines, it's mostly focused on just a little bit of extra leadership, you know, a little bit of extra damage, getting some regeneration, which is always really good, especially if you're going to be having them on a battle kitty. A little bit of regen is always lovely, and then you've got the usual stuff. But yeah, it's basically just an evil version of the Tomb King. It's not supposed to be radically different, it's literally just an evil Tomb King. Well, even then, some of the Tomb Kings in general are evil, but you get what I mean. Yeah, you still get all the bonuses to dedicate to Petra if you want to, and all that type of stuff, because nothing really changes. It's just a little bit of a extra addition, which, let's be honest, kind of useful too, because the Tomb Kings are still lacking on options, which is absolutely bizarre. And yeah, we're probably going to get a DLC for them in the future, but hey, having a little bit of an extra option is always useful. It stops the monotony, at least, even if they're doing almost exactly the same thing. You will notice some of the units being, well, identical. The only difference is obviously just the color, really. And that's mostly because they've got a different version of the whole Souls thing, whereas in the normal Tomb King aspect, they're getting blessings from their gods and stuff. The Vampire Count one is that they're just stealing from the souls. It's just a little bit of flavor, which I think is kind of cool. It's important to take notice that your roster now is just absolutely huge. I mean, yeah, you've got the normal Tomb Kings, you've got pretty much all the Vampire Counts. You're missing a few things from the Vampire Counts, but nothing really too important. You're not going to be dealing with vampires. It's just being more like an old school Arkhan army, which I think is pretty cool. I honestly really like it. Still get access to Mortis engines and stuff like that too. And you can make really tasty armies. I've been playing for a few hours now, and yeah, it's pretty fun. It's very different. You'll also have access to a Tainted Lich Priest, which will give you access to the Lore of Vampires, which means that you can get, you know, Wind of Death, which is freaking awesome, or Invocation of the Heck for your vampire units. Yeah, generally, yeah, it's a little strong to have with the faction, but then again, it's your campaign. Have as much fun as you want. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to recruit them, which I think is a great thing with these types of things. Plus, you know, it just kind of makes sense to have the Lore of Vampires anyway. You're not getting vampires, you're not getting loads of vampire lords and stuff, you're just getting a hero with access to it. Plus now in campaign, it actually makes good sense to actually get some vampiric corruption all over the place, because the benefits there are now fairly useful, you know? It focuses more on your vampire count stuff, and, you know, the whole attrition for everywhere. It is just more thematic now, since you've got both armies. And I feel like that's super important when you're trying to have a faction which is marketed as different, right? Like, that's a thing with Arkhan and Vanilla. He's marketed as a different type of faction, but really he's not. Yeah, you've got access to some vampire count stuff, but it doesn't really feel like a sub-faction. It just feels like, oh yeah, he's got a few extra toys, but that's it. When it comes to campaign, I mean, it's going to play very much the same. You're still going to be playing a Tomb King campaign, so even though you've got loads of other stuff, it's still, you know, build up loads of skeletal warriors, and then start expanding from there, which I've slowly been doing. I mean, this is a campaign which I've just been using to film, and, you know, it's turn 49, I've got a decent amount of the map. You get a decent amount of armies. Starting off with an extra army is obviously quite useful too, and yeah, just go from there. If you're looking for a reason to play as Arkhan, I mean, this mod is definitely it, and it works well with Tomb Kings Extended too, so it's not like you're going to be one or the othering, right? It's the main thing that Arkhan desperately needed to feel different from the other Tomb Kings. It's the only thing that makes sense when it comes from a lore perspective and just a character perspective. I think this mod does it amazingly well. So if you want to play as Arkhan, download this mod. Hell, even if you're just going to have the mod there because Arkhan AI will make use of the units, yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with this. And you can find it in the description below. Let me know what you guys think about this mod. And we'll start a little bit of a discussion. I do apologize for the late video. I've been doing some stuff IRL, getting some cameras sorted, you know, for battle reports and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do in the background for those types of videos. I forgot how long. It's been a while. Anyways, with all that being said, I'll see you all again very soon. Have a good day.